do it right after. Just do a quick centering practice and some conscious breathing, and then we're going to dive into the materials. So I want to talk a little bit about Michel Cusseaux. So Michel Cusseaux is a French painter, and she went to Paris to art school, and when she was a little girl, and I've only heard this through friends, but her story, but it really impacted me, so I want to share. Actually, I heard it through one of my mentors. She always wanted to be a painter, and knew it as a young girl that was her passion, her calling in life. And so, she was in France, she went to Paris to art school, and she had an art instructor who was like, Michelle, you're not good enough. You're never going to be a famous painter. And she was crushed. I mean, this was her lifelong dream. And so she started working with children. She started teaching kids classes. And what she saw was this magic of the spontaneity and the expression that happens within children. And those of you that have young children now know, if you give a child a paintbrush, they're not going to turn around and tell you they don't have any talent, right? They're going to paint whatever they can get their hands on, right? With fury. So what happens to us as adults is we lose that connection to knowing that we are innately creative, and to that energy, to that passion that moves through us and that inspires us. So I'm going to, and a lot of us have had experiences like somebody telling us we weren't creative, or an art teacher who told us, that clouds were blue instead of yellow or green, and there's a disconnect that happens in trusting ourselves and our own instincts and our own intuition when we get that kind of feedback, right? Especially as children, and I think most of us have had those experiences. So we're going to break all the rules today about what you know about art, about being creative. We are going to take risks. We're going to have fun. We're going to play. We're going to get messy. We're going to use your hands. Some people use your toes, I've seen. You can make noise. I just ask that you remain silent. And the fact that make noise and be silent. Paradox of creativity. No, meaning that in terms of talking in the studio, I'm going to come around and check in with you and sort of support you in your process and be a catalyst for you if you're feeling stuck, and just be curious and ask questions and sort of mirror back to you what I'm seeing in your process or in your physical body or in your emotional body as information. And so I invite you to paint like you're in kindergarten, especially if you haven't painted in a while. Just start out really simple and playful, and bring wonder and curiosity and play to your process. Any questions about that? Great. So I'm going to take you through the materials. Actually, we'll do a quick centering practice, and then I'll take you through the materials, and then we're going to dive in until lunch, until about 1 o'clock. And then I'll ring a bell, and we'll break for lunch, and you can eat in here or outside, and then you can go back to painting, or we'll start again at 2 o'clock, and then we'll paint from 2 to 4, probably about 2 to 4. We're going to do the sort of closing circle, and then we'll complete at 5. Sound good? All right. So get comfortable. We're just going to spend a few moments. This is called conscious breathing, and I usually start off all of my sessions, individual and group sessions, with conscious breathing. So just close your eyes, come into your body, notice the breath, notice any thoughts or feelings, and notice what it feels like to be in this physical body. Tension, some tightness, or you may have some tingling. Just notice it without judgment. when you're ready, inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Deep down into the diaphragm. Hold for 4. And then exhale out the mouth for 8. I'm feeling a little more centered and here. Great. So what I'd like to do is have us all move in around the supplies behind me, around the painting station. So all gather. Absolutely. So anyone want to share about their process? We can get up and walk around, and those of you that want feedback about your actual paintings, not in a critique way of any kind, but more we can give feedback in terms of dreaming into your painting about what we see in them. And so there's 2 ways to give conscious feedback. One is, if it were my dream, this is what I see, and the other is how it makes you feel. So it makes me feel alive, or it makes me feel sad and dark, or, you know. So there's 2 ways to give feedback, and it's all a choice. You can choose if you want people to respond to your work in that way, or you can choose not to. So is there anyone that would like to kick us off?
I think that sounds fun.
Yeah, you want to kick us off? Great. Let's go over to Johnny's painting. So I just want to thank you. I want to remind you when you take your paintings home that we've been in a creative vortex in this really safe environment, and you may feel more open and sensitive. Be really gentle with yourself. Remember in the guidelines that in the painting contract that you have with yourself to go back and, you know, how to, if stuff comes up. I'm available for you. I actually have a couple spaces in my coaching practice, so if anyone wants to dive in and do some one-on-one